All right, this is like the fifth story that I think I done did in a couple days. You know what I'm saying? So let me get out of here. Wherever I'm at. Let me get out of here. Um, this is gonna be here I go again with this quick story mess. This story, um, I'm gonna see. So this is a faction story. Now, the name faction came from a freestyle. It came from a freestyle. Um, and then I be coming up with all kind of names and stuff for my homies and ideas and title and album covers and all kind of stuff like that or whatever. So my homie was freestyling in the studio one time, and then we decide he kept saying matter of fact, matter of fact, matter of fact. So we that name initially came from somebody saying matter of fact. But when you think of a faction, that's like a team. So when you ever heard a video game called Red Faction, and when you think of a faction, that's like a strong team. That's like an elite team. So when we think about matter, we talk about actual living beings and matter and atoms and shit like that. So we thought about matter faction, and then one day I get shorted up. I said, man, it's the faction. Mike making the beats, you know what I'm saying? DP on the raps, Stack Doe on the raps, because I wasn't really making beats too much no more. You know what I'm saying? Not like that. I mean, I was still making the beats here and there, but on my own time, but I wasn't really focused on that no more. I think I stopped making beats maybe after 2014, maybe 09 and stuff. I wasn't really doing the beat thing. Matter of fact, 09, 010, I don't even know. I might have been writing lyrics. I don't even know if I was really focused on going to the studio too much no more. I think from time to time I might go, or whatever the case may be. But I think around that time I kind of was just focusing on my craft, which the cougar was like, man, because she's listening to my little stuff, and I wanted to be honest. She don't really want to tell me the truth, but like my shit wasn't really that good. You still working on it. And she's like, well, what you trying to do? I said, I'm trying to produce. Or she's like, okay, well, do you got your little studio set up at home? She knew I wasn't taking it all that serious, whatever the case may be. So she was kind of like, well, just focus on you good at this tech stuff. So do your tech. You know what I'm saying? And and then fund your music if that's what you want to do. And so that's kind of what I was thinking at the time. Mike kept on making the beats. He was always real great. And so, he was still doing his stuff and still making stuff. He always made stuff. That's why y'all listen to all these old beats and these I got a bunch of old stuff that I got to put in these videos, because the adventures of DP, I could tell y'all, it's not going to go forever. You're not going to keep getting these videos out of me. My life only goes up to a certain point. You know what I'm saying? As you get older, things are a little less adventurous. You know what I'm saying? This was just a name that I thought that was fitting and stuff. You know what I mean? So, so the Faction album came about. Initially, we started recording over Stack's house. He had some of his guys over there, whatever the case may be, but the equipment just wasn't what we needed to see. You got to think, we done went to IPR and stuff like that. He got like this Focusrite, a regular little mic, used to pop a lot. I think he might have had an Apple Mac at that time. So, but it's not getting us where we need to be. You know what I'm saying? And so we both, maybe a year later or something, we kind of reconvened and said, man, we need to go into a real booth. And so I think he emailed somebody or I emailed somebody and said, man, let's go record. I think it was like $30 an hour or whatever the case may be. And so I'm sitting up here with him. We go to the studio right in St. Paul. So that's going to be another slither. That's going to be an exclusive slither off University. I'm going to find that one, and I'm going to slither up on that joint. And we're going to do the story coming up this weekend likely. So now me and him are going to the studio. Bro's picking out most of the beats. We got some Titan beats. We did the Oldsmobile song. So y'all gonna hear some of them songs and stuff. I'm gonna break it up a little bit because I decided, I said, bro, I'm about to drop this shit. I'm about to put this on DistroKid or something. Just so so I gotta find all the songs that we worked on. Because there was another song we did called Give Me All My Cash. That was like one of the first ones. And I think initially I already had the chorus on it, but then he started coming up with choruses. So I'm just going to take all the stuff we did and I'm just going to throw it on. We had a song where we were talking about as if we were dead and looking up at the earth. And we're calling out all the hypocritical preachers and stuff like that. We had a song like that, Casket Drop. That was like one of our first ones. So we playing this for certain people, and they like, man, y'all niggas need to take this shit serious. And you know, we taking it serious up to a certain extent. Because by this time we on our career and getting money and, you know, and all this kind of stuff, you know, so we still love the art. So, you know, but we're playing it for people from time to time. We didn't never really officially release it. You know what I'm saying? And so we're just going in the studio and we vibing. A lot of times it was almost like some UGK type stuff. Like we would never talk about what the song, we would just have the song and we might just have a general conversation about, we wouldn't really just go back and forth. Maybe, man, you gonna say this or you gonna say that. That song, we get to change. I'm gonna drop that soon. Man, we didn't really have an idea on exactly what we're gonna say. I mean, that nigga came through there like as if we had a whole conversation. Like the way that song came together was almost like we were sitting in a room deciding what we was gonna say. No, bro, pulled that shit up on his cell phone. I did my verse, he jumped in, and after he did his, I wanted to go back in there. He said, nah, bro, keep it. I said, nah, bro, you done got me on that one. You know what I'm saying? Because I had two verses initially. Initially, it was just, I think it was my song or something like that. It was a beat that had been sitting around for like years. And you know, it was probably going to be like a Welcome to Woods song or whatever. Because remember, when we were recording the FaCTioN album, the FaCTioN album that me and Stack Doe made predates the FaCTioN album that me and Stack Doe made. It predates Welcome to the Woods. That Welcome to the Woods stuff that I've been working on, that stuff is, that them lyrics is old as hell. Some of that shit damn near like 10 years, was 8 years prior almost. A lot of the stuff I was just writing because I was writing in the mind that, well, maybe somebody might, you know, need some songwriting or something like that. Then I just kind of mixed up and put some of my life in there, and I picked some G-Funk beats and picked some of Mike's beats. And then I said, okay, I'm about to try this shit. Let me go to the Red Sea. Let me try to see what I could do. So that's when I went over there to the Mini Ha Ha One Stop, the Mini Ha Ha recording company. It was really the Tony Williamette recording studio. I went there before he had when he had it in his house. I was sitting there drinking tea at his house. He had a big ass house on like 40 something in Nicholas, big ass house with a board and everything. I was amazed. But the reason why I picked that studio is because of his preamps. He had some custom modified preamps. I said, yeah, that's the engineer I want. And I told him, this is what I'm looking for. And I ain't come in with a bunch of people or nothing like that. I came by myself dolo and I was laying tracks down. Every time I book a session, I'm doing jobs. I'm not doing no little 2-3 hours and all that bullshit. I'm coming in there 8 hours every rip. Here you go. Here's your 2, 3, 400 or whatever. Every time I go in there. So eventually I start, hey, Stack, man, I got a studio that, you know what I'm saying? So sometimes I tell him, hey, man, look, lay a verse. My mom passed. I said, man, I'm feeling dark. Halloween. I'm going to make some Halloween shit. I'm going to make some real dark shit. So I'm doing that. So I'm, you know, so there's going to be a couple songs where you listen and be like, damn, the quality sounds a little better because the studio was a little better. So I called bro. I said, hey man, I need you on this. I need you on that. He still was, you know, kind of doing it a little bit, the music or whatever. He wasn't really taking it much serious. I said, man, I need you on this, bro. I need you to get on this. So sometimes you're going to see some emails where I said, bars, sir. Can I please have some bars? So I'd send him emails of a beat and I say, please, bars, sir. Can I have some bars? That's how I would send him an email. I have the beat. I send him an email and I never tell the nigga what the song's about. And the shit just fit. So that's how I could tell, like, if we would have really tried to do some shit, man, I think we would have been one of the better duos in Minneapolis. I'm going to be quite honest, man. And to be honest, we weren't even really trying as hard as half of these guys in the city. We sounded, when I kind of listened to some of this shit, I said, yeah, we sound a little better than most of these dudes. And they really, really trying. We wasn't really, really trying. We was just good. Our shit was just good. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, I'll let y'all be the judge of that. You know what I'm saying? But, this is, the FaCTioN, you know what I'm saying? Story part 1. I don't even know if I'm gonna throw no AI in it. I might go straight Storytime old school with it. I might put a couple pictures or something like that. And I'm gonna put the album cover. And, I don't remember if I put we get to change on the end of this, but I think I'm gonna put casket drop at the end of this and let y'all hear the whole casket drop.
Living down here is so strange, caught between heaven and hell, which both lanes. Pray that my soul makes it to God, I'm gon' change. And niggas be hating when you riding the wrong things. These victims out here on broke lane, my soul way ready to hit the gate to go chain. Trying my best, I'm just a man with no game. Looking down on the planet, I hope my folks change. 6 feet deep, I'm really about to go down. Murder by connects, niggas rob me over 4 pounds. Mama tried to tell me streets was evil, I should slow down. Pushing up daisies, niggas just shady over hoes now. Haters at an all-time high, I'm screaming, oh my God. When pearly gates is closing up, concerned about all my shine. Hood rats was purgatory, wasn't nurturing for me. Particular or behaving savage and serving in orgies. Late nights, agenda hoes ain't amount to much. Flooding my lungs for purple kush, hoes powdered up. Truth is, them niggas I came up with be fraudulent. Jealous of me, cause I was taught with some common sense. How dare you show up in front of my tombstone? You ain't like me, serpent eyes hiding behind envy and white teeth. The world's so different, new phones and microchips instead of cash. I'm down in the dirt, turning to ash. My spirit don't rise, and I can't hear you. Ecclesiastes 9:5, the dead can't fear you. Can't come back and poltergeist trying to scare you. But my pastor pimping the people, twisting the mere truth. So fuck Creflo, Eddie Long, and TDJ. These niggas ain't resurrect me, they just preach for faith. My soul blind, I rise to defeat the hate. Pouring liquor over my casket, don't delete the fake. Living down here is so strange, caught between heaven and hell, which both lanes. Pray that my soul makes it to God, I'm gon' change. And niggas be hating when you riding the wrong things. These victims out here on broke lane, my soul way ready to hit the gate to go chain. Trying my best, I'm just a man with no game. Looking down on the planet, I hope my folks change.
When my casket drop, you can bury me a G like Pac. My middle finger to the air like fuck the cops. I dealt with a lot of anger and my own people hating, cause they want me to be in they same shoes. I can't lose. My nightmares seem to turn into reality. Over money, your friend with cars or fatalities. So when I go, I guarantee they gon' be missing me. But my relatives is gon' make sure they history. The preacher saying the right words. The black hearse parked next to the black curb. Goddamn, my little daughter gon' carry my legacy. Enemies can't get the best of me. I probably died with my Smith & Wesson G. So don't cry, pray for my family, cause you know the good Lord blessing me. It's one thing after another, why not? I'm a mob boss, make sure them niggas all right.
Living down here is so strange.